Welcome to Utica TV Overtime. I'm James Brown.
And I'm Corinne Bush. Before we get started, we would like to thank Spectrum for their fast internet service and for helping make Utica TV Overtime possible. To sign up for Spectrum internet or mobile service, please call 1-800-831-1547 or use the QR code shown. Tell them Utica TV sent you.
Now let's get into the action. The Utica Pioneers men's hockey team went up against the defending NCAA Division III champions Hobart College in the Frozen Four semifinal on Thursday, March 21st. The match started quickly as Hobart scored just 52 seconds into the game. The Pioneers began to retaliate as they sent a handful of shots at the Hobart goalkeeper, but were unable to slot any in to tie it up. With 7 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first period, Hobart College appeared to have extended their lead to 2, and after a review, the goal was upheld, and they brought their 2-0 lead into the second period. In the second period, Michael Herrera got a pass from Kimball Johnson and was able to fire it past the Hobart goalie and into the back of the net as the Pioneers cut the Hobart lead to 1. There were multiple power play chances throughout the rest of the quarter, but both sides were not able to take advantage. In the third period, Utica had 8 shots on target but were unable to get the second goal that they needed to tie it up. After the Pioneers emptied the net, Hobart was able to secure the empty netter and would go on to win the match 3-1. Congrats on a successful season, guys.
The women's lacrosse team faced off against SUNY Oneonta on Thursday as they looked to extend their winning streak to 5 games. Coming into this one, the Pioneers had been dominating their opponents on the offensive side of the ball and will not be looking to stop now. In the first quarter, the Pioneers jumped out to an early 3-0 lead as they saw goals fly into the back of the net from Grace Stillman, Maria Stillman, and Samantha DeCondo in the first 6 minutes. By the end of the first, Utica had a 5-1 lead on the Red Dragons. Utica would do the same exact thing in the second quarter as they would also put up 5 goals, with 3 of them coming again from Grace Stillman. In the second half, Utica would continue to score at will, and they would eventually topple the Red Dragons 15-5. Grace Stillman finished with 5 goals on the evening, and Utica goalie Michaela Purdy held Oneonta to only 5 goals on their 18 attempted shots that she faced.
The men's and women's track and field teams competed in the Oscar Moore Invite at Rowan University on Saturday. However, after a rainy Saturday, many of the events were not completed, but we do have a couple of key performances that were logged before the rain washed the rest of the event out. On the men's side, Bennett Mylito won the 5,000 meter with a time of 15 minutes and 56 seconds, which ranks 8th all-time in Pioneer history. Hunter Logan and Antoine Kelly also placed 2nd and 4th respectively in the discus throw. For the women's teams, Mackenzie Mix ran the 1,500 meter and finished in 4th place out of 13 runners with a time of just over 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Elena Furtado Rahil also finished with a team best 7th in the javelin throw with a 26.30 meter throw.
On Saturday, the women's gymnastics team sent Alexis Castaneda and Grace Mara to the NCGA Championships hosted by Ursinus College in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. Alexis and Grace competed in multiple events, each including the vault, uneven parallel bars, balance beam, and a floor exercise. In the vault, Alexis placed 12th and Grace placed 45th. In the uneven parallel bars, Grace placed 39th. In the balance beam, Alexis placed 44th and Grace placed 48th. Finally, in the floor exercise, Grace finished in 11th place and Alexis placed 15th for the event. Congrats on a great inaugural season.
Riding off the momentum from their last win against Oneonta, the Pioneers women's lacrosse team were looking to keep their winning ways alive as they took on SUNY Morrisville on Monday. This match was all Utica early as Grace Stillman continued her domination in the first half of the game as she collected 3 goals and 2 assists in the first quarter alone. Maria Stuhlman, Daniela Muscari, Alyssa Drell, and Jessica Marciano would all score in the second and see Utica bring an 11-4 lead into the half. In the third, 5 different goal scorers would hit the back of the net for Utica as Morrisville had no answer for the Pioneers and their offense. The Pioneers would go on to win 20-10 as they pick up their 6th straight win and now sit at 6-2 on the season.
The Utica Pioneers men's lacrosse team also went up against SUNY Morrisville as they played yesterday at 4 p.m. The Pioneers were looking to bounce back after the loss against Oswego State from last Thursday. It was quick for the Pioneers in this one as Caden Frey found Ryan Considine 40 seconds in to give them the early lead. After this, Sam Serrano rattled off 3 goals in a row to bring the lead to 4 and give Sam a very early hat trick. With his first goal of the game, Sam Serrano became the 12th player in program history to reach 100 career points. Amazing work! Morrisville would get a goal back at the end of the first quarter, but in the second, Utica would put up 7 goals from 5 different Pioneers, and they would take an 11-2 lead into the half. The second half of this one would see the Pioneers put up 4 more goals, while Morrisville would score 8 of them, but it was too little too late as the Pioneers would cruise to a 15-10 victory.
Now let's look ahead to some games coming up next week. The women's lacrosse team will be playing today in a matchup against SUNY Canton at Charles A. Gaetano Stadium at 4 p.m. The Pioneers have never been defeated against Canton in program history, and they look to keep that streak going with their 6-game winning streak as well.
The Pioneers softball team will be competing in a doubleheader against SUNY Morrisville on Friday at the Greenman softball field at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. The only time the two have faced off against each other was during the 2021 season, where the Pioneers won the season series. They'll look to do the same thing on Friday.
The Pioneers baseball team will also be playing Friday at 3 p.m. at the Utica University baseball field against St. John Fisher University. After this game, the Pioneers will have a doubleheader against them as well on Saturday at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. A trio of games for the Pioneers as they look to get some big wins against a formidable foe in the Cardinals.
Also coming up this Saturday, the women's lacrosse team will be hosting their annual Senior Day game versus Keuka College. With a large senior class, the ladies will have much to celebrate, but with conference play starting up, they must focus on the task at hand. The Pioneers currently sit at an overall record of 6-2 on the season, and they are currently on a 6-game win streak. Utica will look to stay hot in this one, so make sure to come out to Gaetano Stadium this Saturday at 1 p.m. to support your Pioneers on their senior day.
The men's and women's track and field teams are competing in the Continental Spring Invite at Hamilton College in Clinton on Saturday, March 30th. This event will begin at 10 a.m. It will be the second outdoor meet of the season for both the men's and women's teams. And that's all the Utica sports we have for you this week.
Be sure to follow us on social media at UticaUTV on Instagram and visit our website at uticautv.org.
Thank you so much for watching, and always remember to fear the moose.